So Rakshanda, first of all, a warm welcome to GlitzVisionUSA.
Thank you.
And a big congratulations for backing the show. So tell me something, जब ये show आपको offer हुआ, what were your exact thoughts? You know, when the show was offered and when you said yes.
There's always a lot of anticipation, a lot of excitement when you're offered something new. There's always a lot of hope that goes with it. Then when you add to it the fact that people you've known for good 15, 18 years, who've been part of many events, successful events that you've done, are now suddenly turning towards fiction, and you know the kind of work they've done in the past, and you're fully convinced that what they're going to do with their first fiction show is going to be beyond what other people would be able to do with it. Obviously, it's extremely exciting to be part of a project like that. And then when they gave me the narration of exactly what Jayalakshmi was going to be like, how important she was as a catalyst in the show, that's like the icing on the cake, and that's when it became even more fun, because today I think I'm at the stage in my career where I'm lucky enough to be able to say that I would like to only be part of characters that propel the story forward, and I've really been blessed and lucky to at least most part of my journey as an actor do characters like that.
The show is set to be a love story. The show is also set to be a thriller. Whatever you can say about the show, thriller अगर हम कह रहे तो what type of thriller is going to be? Anything which you can say?
Well, as a love story, it's the show that starts off where most love stories end. So when people say and they lived happily ever after is where the show actually takes off from. So that way it is a different show. It's a thriller because every 5 to 10 episodes there's a new twist in the story. It's going to keep you hooked. Eventually, it is the stuff that dreams are made of, but then it depends on what kind of dream it is.
Okay, Rakshanda, we have seen that you have worked with mostly production now, with almost every channel. How has it been like being there in the industry and still getting work and good work? And how is it when you work with new people like Avinash, Anjali, both are new people when it comes to working with you? So how is the whole experience whenever you join a new show?
Every time I join a new project, there's a lot of apprehension because people find it very difficult to believe, but I take very long to get to know people. I take very long to say that this person is my friend. I take very long to get pally and close to people. So every time I go on a new set, I think I'm by far the most nervous person. So in a way, it was good that I was working with relatively newer people. Thankfully, I had Tyagi, the director, whom I've worked with in Jassi before. So he was like the one known factor of my life on this set. So I used to be like clinging to him and having conversations with him. But it's good to work with new people because you get new energy from them. You don't know what to expect, so you have to constantly be prepared that they're going to throw a googly at you and you're going to have to feel that, and it has its own excitement.
Last question, anything you want to say about your character? What would be the role which you will be playing in this show, and anything?
So Jayalakshmi is basically the backbone of the Rathod house. She is not a born royal, but she was someone who came to the palace 20 years ago as a caretaker. She was very smart, she was very intelligent, and Devraj's Devraj's grandfather thought that she had the capability of running the entire show on her own, and he gave the reins of everything into her hands. And despite Gajvardhan being the son of the household, he's not the one who makes the decisions. Jayalakshmi does. She is the final authority who passes everything, whether it is a business decision, whether it's people's personal life decisions. But at the same time, she has brought Devraj up when he lost his parents at a very young stage in his childhood. So she has a tremendous attachment to him. She never stands against him. She will make sure that whatever decision she takes in life is always for the betterment of Devraj's life, and therefore when he decides to marry someone who's not a royal, she's the one person who comes out completely in support of him and says, irrespective of what anyone says, I'm happy that he's married the woman he loves. So she is important. She's a catalyst to a lot of other internal stories which keep on unfolding once you see the show.
Lastly, I just wanted to ask, that the female character of the show, her dream is that, one day, the groom will come and, the soulmate will come. I wanted to say, when you started understanding those things, did you also have the same thoughts when you were young, and now that you are happily married with a kid, what are your thoughts on marriage and, balancing your professional life while having a kid?
So when I was in school, I remember clearly I used to hide Mills and Boons in my textbooks and read. Because उस वक्त पे Mills and Boons were supposed to be, no, you can't put this rubbish into a girl's head that life is all about like fairy tale characters and all that. But because I'd read so many of them, I believed that these tall, dark, handsome men come into your life and they sweep you off your feet and you're going to get married and then you walk off into the sunset and live happily ever after. And then you grow up and life happens. And sometimes right at the start you're lucky enough to meet some very nice people and you do live happily ever after, and sometimes you don't. So it took me very long to find my Prince Charming and my tall dark stranger who would sweep me off my feet. So yeah, some people do have to kiss a few frogs before they meet the actual prince, and I think I was very lucky that it actually came true for me, and that I met someone who was not just very good looking but also a very good human being. And today I can say that if I am able to have a career and balance family married life, a lot of the credit goes to my husband. And so the basic thing that I'm saying is, do not stop dreaming, because dreams do come true.
Great to hear that. And anything you want to say to the fans related to this show?
When a new show starts, all you can ask for is people to shower you with love. Do be patient. Do watch the story unfolding, because there's a lot of twists and turns. Every time you're going to think that you know what's going to happen, that's the one thing that won't. So stay glued and shower Tere Bina Jiya Jaye now with all your love.
Thank you so much, Rakshanda, and all the best. Thank you.